Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy.
And I'm Mrs Papergoy.
And it's the Hump Day Happy Hour Salute. And today we enjoyed Tennessee Fire. How was that?
Very good.
Well, I'm asking you. I don't think anybody else had it. Yeah, so it's essentially a fireball is what it is, but it's Jack Daniels. Well, can you say hello to everybody?
Hello, Carl.
There you go. Ahoy, hoy.
Carl.
And
hello, John Jones.
Hello. And I click the next one. There you go.
I'm sorry.
Evening, gent and lady, and my MDP peeps.
Hello, Dave.
Odds and ends, yep. Cedar Lights. Super Cedar Lights, as Mr. Magazine always says. Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Papergoy.
Good evening.
All righty. Everybody else will be filing in, I'm sure. So we'll start the show off as we do every time. Hello, AJ. Yes, Mr. Magazine, well, he didn't tell us everything about that weight loss. He changed a lot of things with that weight that he lost, I'll tell you. Hey-o! So how's everybody's sales out there? Mr. Magazine actually prepared for the show, and he's not here. That's the first, the preparing part. He said he has begun to do promoted listings, 2% across the board, and his sales have increased. Oh, hello. Hello, Don. Yep. I like Mrs. Papergoy so much more than that jerk you normally have on. I agree. I don't know who that guy is. He just like wanders in every Wednesday. I'm like, oh, are you back? Jeez. But yeah, so Mr. Magazine said his sales are up, and he thanks promoted listings for it. I had an absolutely horrible weekend as far as sales go. I had a wonderful weekend because I was with Mrs. Papergoy, but I had a horrible weekend as far as sales go. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Jeff.
And that's because I was out of town at Allentown, which I'll tell you about in a little while in the buying section. But I wasn't doing the usual stuff that I do on the account, and everything tanked. I wasn't putting anything new up. Now, I did have scheduled items going up, so that helps, but I wasn't sending offers to watchers. I think I came home to something like 64 offers to make. A few decent sales. Overall sluggish. Of course, with some travel, my listings are down. Yep, and that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah, so you got to watch that, and sometimes you got to move that down, the slider on the side at times. Yep, if some show up. Yep. There, took you behind the curtain there. There you go. Last week, Kelly, hello. Ended on a positive note, but has slow end of the weekend, ended the month better than last. Yep. And absolutely, like I said, the weekend was atrocious for me, but I blame it for being out of town. Today, phenomenal day. Phenomenal today. Today is the best day I've had in the last 31, according to the little graph that we have there. Can't argue. Really slow weekend. It picked back up Monday. Tuesday was good. Today was very, very good. So Amazon is staying steady ever since I got off the double secret probation they had me on. Doing better over there as well. Viv's Dash Views, you sold 2 postcards, so you did very, very well.
Thank you.
$million Peddlers sold 2 items, and on Etsy I sold 3 items. So the other sites are doing okay. Promoted 26 out of 49, so just about 50%. It's basically hovering around 50% there on the promoted side of things. And offers 84 old, 228 new, total 228 total offers, 283 totals offers last week. Now, part of that I blame on being on vacation buying trip. I wasn't able to make as many offers out over the weekend. However, last year, 143 at the same time. So we're at 143 last year, 228 this year. Definitely getting more traffic this year than last year. I cannot complain about that.
What about the Viv's?
Yep, 2 postcards. She sold 2 postcards, and she sold 2 postcards last week. First time ever she sold 4 postcards in a row. 4 days in a row she sold a postcard. So that's kind of better than I think we've ever done over there before. We do no promotions over there, nothing over there whatsoever, just list a postcard a day. And I don't know the first thing about postcards, so just kind of put stuff up. It's pretty mediocre stuff, and it's a slow go over there, but selling postcards 4 straight days, very, very happy with that. Don't worry, I'm not coming after the postcard sellers. No interest. Not my bag, baby. How about buys? Are any out there buying? I don't know if Mr. Magazine is buying or not. He hasn't said anything about any great buys coming in or anything like that. I'm sure he's just doing his usual, usual buys out there. You bought some stuff this week over at Allentown, didn't you?
I did.
What did you get?
I forgot.
You got a lot of phone accessories. We bought a lot of snacks. We bought Random Neighborhood Kids some
Pretzels.
milk chocolate covered pretzels. Definitely, if you get a chance to check out the Allentown show, definitely worth doing the paper show. It's in April and October. Great farmers market right across the street, or right across the parking lot from it. A really good Amish restaurant you can eat a breakfast and lunch at, and a really, really good, a couple of really good vendors over there with a lot of stuff. And you bought a bunch of stuff over it. You also got some wine, as I recall.
Yeah, 4 bottles only.
My wine isn't enough. It was some cheese with that wine. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, we went to Allentown, and I want to say thank you to everybody who came up and talked to me. It was kind of interesting. I went to one booth, and the lady's just looking at me, and she goes, "Do I know you?" Oh. And then she said, "Do you have a YouTube channel?" And I said, "Why, yes, I do." She goes, "Oh, I recognize your voice. You were on the Auction Professor show." I said, "Well, yes, I was." So that was kind of neat. And I want to, thank you to everybody, Cool and Common, Michael Genoa, Rat Stash, BB's Trunk, Popeye's Postcard, and I'm sure a few people that I'm forgetting, and I apologize. Great seeing all you out there, all fans of the show. That's a lot of fun too. Trying to buy at auctions, but competition is much rougher than it used to be. Well, live auctions or online auctions, or like an eBay site, or is it more of a the auction? What do you call it? Site? What kind of site, John? So you're all wondering what I bought over at Allentown. Do have a haul video sitting on my phone. Random Neighborhood Kid has to come over at some point and get that up off the phone, so that should be good. Fun little video there. And I ended up spending $1,160.
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure I don't get hit in the head with a rolling pin. I think I told you I spent $1,380, but $1,160. Go ahead.
That's what you spent.
Yeah.
I thought you only.
Exactly. Oops. Truth will come out on the show. See what John said there.
Live.
Yeah. We are. eBay surplus source that I used to buy lots from. Too many people have stumbled upon it. Oh, okay. See what Jeff says there. Buys this week consists of 6 cases of printer copy paper, sold 2 cases locally. Not sure what to do with the other cases yet. Also bought a very large box of ephemera. Nice. So we drove home from Allentown. It was a lovely drive down. Easy drive back. Couldn't argue with that whatsoever. Get back. I'm starting to pack things up, getting my orders together. And I said to Mrs. Papergoy, "Hey, why don't we hit the bottle show? Because that's the same weekend. We can see Random Neighborhood Kid, go out to lunch with him, and go to the bottle show." And she said, "Yeah, why not?" So we went over there, and I spent $120 on stuff. And the nice thing about that is I was in and out of there in about 20 minutes probably.
Mm-hmm.
We were in and out of there in no time whatsoever. So having $1,160 worth of stuff in the Rogue wasn't enough. I had to spend another $120, but got some good things. Going to make some good money off it, and going to have some nice haul videos for you guys as well. Went to a church sale Saturday, bought 3 things: book on old advertising, a vase from a local pottery studio, and a tin. Nice. I'm assuming it's a vase. It sounds very, very classy. Glitch of the week. Over on Etsy, I had a book listed, Fighter Pilots of World War I. And I noted in the listing that it was printed in 1977. So it's a 1977 book about fighter pilots of World War I. Etsy puts a tag on it that the algorithm said it was vintage 1930s, which makes 0 sense whatsoever because World War I was not in the 1930s. If it misread it as World War II, that wasn't in the 1930s. And the 1970s aren't the 1930s. So apparently a couple of those people that got laid off from eBay did get jobs over at Etsy. So congratulations to them. I'm glad they landed on their feet, and I see they're doing great programming over at Etsy as well. Yeah, of course. Well, assuming there's not a monsoon and you're willing to drive, of course, local Mike. Certainly. Hello, John. How are you? I had to keep refreshing on eBay on Thursday morning in order to get shipping labels. It kept saying something went wrong, something went wrong. So that was really, really annoying Thursday. And today, as a matter of fact, it happened a number of times where it said something went wrong, label could not be generated. Happened 2 times today. So just hit refresh and it'll end up working. 1939, yeah, but I did list it as WW1. I know Carl, I know my history, but still, everybody thinks it was being the 40s. Geez, got called out there. Had a $2,000 book sale last weekend, and still I'm riding the euphoric wave. Wow, I would be too. Hello, Antiquarian. Good to see you. Hopefully you can stop by tomorrow at Whatnot Book Sale. Papergoy, 4 p.m. Eastern. Come on by. Speaking of Whatnot, they changed stuff again. Interesting little change they made. Now you can meet up with people. So it's basically local pickup. You put in an address. That would be your pickup address. Now it will be viewed by everybody. So you may want to use like a Walgreens parking lot down at the corner or something like that. But you can put in the address and they can locally pick it up. I've not explored any further because I haven't decided what address I want to put in. Maybe I'll put in Mr. Magazine's address and let people deal with him. Going to head on into the item of the week. Ended up picking this up a while ago. You can click on it. That is true. Not for us. I ended up picking this up a while ago, and I don't know if you recognize this or not, but this is Zippy the Pinhead, and I paid $28 on it. Now, I bought it for 2 reasons. Now, I've seen this. Sometimes they have a pin on them as well. Oh, hello, North Georgia Picker. Welcome in. Sometimes they have a pin on them that says something about Zippy. But this is Zippy the Pinhead, Bill Griffith character from the Underground comics. Are we having fun yet? 1984 copyright there on the back of this. I paid $28 for it. It goes for about $75 if you see it out there, if you can remember what Zippy the Pinhead happens to look like. The main reason that I ended up buying it was because Mysterious Benefactor, whom I've known since college, actually calls me Zippy for whatever reason. So he's lent me money and helped me out a number of times, so he can call me anything except late for dinner. So I wanted to just kind of to get this over here. Just, when he came around, he'd get a good kick out of it as well. But do keep your eyes open for the Zippy doll. Must be limited as far as that goes, and it's you press on it there. I don't know what the terminology is, a plush or whatever you call this. But if you see this out there, it's about a $75 piece. So keep your eyes open. Maybe you'll find it out sitting somewhere for $5 or $10. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there.
That it's a voodoo doll.
No, it's Zippy the Pinhead. Are we having fun yet? Insulting offer of the week. Mr. Magazine sent a few of them over. I didn't print any of them out. We'll talk about those next week. I ended up having one. If you remember the item of the week from a couple of weeks ago, which I'm sure you do because you watch the show religiously on a loop.
I forgot.
Oh, there's so many great moments. I forgot which great moment you're possibly talking about. Yeah, thanks. You were with me at the Scottsville estate sale, the house that was built in the 1700s.
Yes.
And we went back to it. We went to it twice.
Yeah.
The Frankenstein Armed Services Edition book. It didn't sell at auction, so I have it listed at $142, which is a reasonable price on it. Person offered me $30 and made a little note in there. Don't be offended by this. This is what I want or what I'm willing to pay on it. I declined it and I said, good luck to you finding it at that price point. It's a Frankenstein item. It's not an easy book to find by any means whatsoever. And he wants to pay $30. He'll be looking a long time. Got to go to the same estate sale I went to, I guess, on that. Customer issues. Mr. Magazine got one. He got a negative over on Amazon. I was disappointed with the movie, which is a really open-ended one. I took it to mean that the guy watched the movie and didn't like the movie. Was the way I took it. I read the negative to him, and that was the way he took it as well. Maybe they weren't happy with the way it played. Maybe, I don't know. but it came across that they weren't happy with the content of the movie, which is kind of silly. What are you looking at? Are you watching the clock? You got a hot date or something? What's going on? I ended up getting, it was a tough weekend when I came home. I got a neutral and 2 negatives, and I have not gotten a neutral or negative in a long, long time. I got a neutral that basically said the transaction was canceled. I said, I haven't canceled any transactions. I looked into it. It had been shipped out. The guy had received it. Not whatsoever was it canceled. And the 2 negatives I got were from the same person. He bought 2 speaker brochures from me. He left negatives. The negatives literally said, did not want. I'm like, okay, you bought it. I have free returns. Why did you buy something that you did not want? I don't know. I didn't go to your house and click through and pay for it. So I reached out to eBay for Business over on Facebook, and they told me that nowadays, in order to get anything removed, they gave me a link. You have to request for it to be removed. So I requested. They said it would take up to 8 hours. Literally 2 minutes before we went on air, I got notification that the neutral, which is the one that was that said the transaction had been canceled, had been removed. I will let you know next week whether the negative feedbacks get removed or not. They really should, in my opinion, because I do have free returns. Gentleman never reached out to me. Gentleman bought the item himself. So to buy an item, get it, and then say, I don't want it, and leave a negative without ever reaching out to the guy with free returns seems a little bit suspect to me, but we'll see. Someone said eBay is adding feedback for items as well as for sellers. Yeah, I think they're trying to go that Amazon way, which works for newer items, but doesn't obviously work for old things. Well, hello, Anik.
Hello,
Welcome in.
Nick.
So I'll let you know whether or not the negatives get removed or not. But the neutral did get removed right before we went live. Not sure if you saw this or not, but a guy bought for $200 at a Salvation Army. You would know this. It is The Head of Christ by Warner Salmon. It's a very, very famous picture, portrait, painting, whatever you want to call it. You would definitely see it if I showed it to you. You would know it as well. It's around everywhere. Well, this guy was at a Salvation Army, and he said, that looks like it's a painting. So he ended up buying it. He ended up buying 2 items. $200 he paid total. One was original chalk and one was original oil. He sold them for $135,000. Turns out the Salvation Army messed up. They were hanging in the Salvation Army offices. The Salvation Army moved, cleaned out the office and moved their headquarters. That accidentally ended up on the sales floor, which it wasn't supposed to. So somebody ended up getting a deal at $200 and $135,000. The guy got a thing. Might be the craziest thing. We've had some crazy things happen to us throughout the years. Mr. Magazine got an envelope with another envelope in it with stamps on it. Addressed the envelope inside. Well, the envelope he got was addressed to him, of course, Mr. Magazine, at his store. The envelope inside was addressed to Circle Track Magazine, and there was a note sent to him saying, with a subscription card in it. You know those little subscription cards that fall out of the magazine all the time? Mm-hmm. From 2003. So there's a 2003 subscription card in there, an envelope addressed to Circle Track Magazine, and a note that said, please give this to Circle Track Magazine. I owe them. Thanks. So apparently they think that Mr. Magazine knows everybody in magazines and just going to contact Circle Track Magazine and go, hey, this guy owes you for the subscription back in 2003. Get in touch with them. I don't know. I really don't know. And Mr. Magazine had me ban somebody. We used a ban hammer on somebody this week. Easiest way to get banned if you don't want to buy from Mr. Magazine is ask him to cancel an order and your reason being found better price. That rubs him the wrong way, and I can't really blame him on that. You know what a yellow legal pad is?
No.
Okay, it's legal size. This is standard size. Legal size is a little bit longer, so it's a
Did you
yellow.
use that before for packing?
No, we would have written on it before, maybe. It's a longer sized piece of paper, yellow legal pad. It's longer paper.
Okay.
That is true. It only took from 2003 to find the address, and it came with Mr. Magazines. So Janet Yellen gave a speech, I don't know how many ever years ago, when she was Secretary of the Treasury, and somebody wrote during the speech on a piece of yellow legal pad and held it up, and it said, "Buy Bitcoin." That was, I don't know, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something or other like that. They auctioned that piece of paper off. $1 million for that piece of paper that said "Buy Bitcoin" on it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to learn how to write, and then we'll be in great shape. Make a lot of money if I can learn that. So that's kind of crazy. I was doing a little bit of revisions on items today, and I had a watch magazine, and I was revising it, and it wouldn't let me revise it. And I got a warning. It appears as though you are selling a wristwatch. Please list in the proper category, blah, 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 wristwatches, or update your listings, basically to let us know it's not a wristwatch. So even though it had the word journal in it, I had to add the word magazine to it. And as soon as I put the word magazine in there, apparently their algorithm doesn't know what a journal is, but it does know what a magazine is. So as soon as I put magazine in there, it let me list it. So kind of a weird little workaround there, and kind of shows their AI is not perfect at this point. Kind of interesting thing coming up on May 15th. One of the people that I talked to at Allentown was the great Popeyes Postcards, and he will be live on our show on the 15th. Next week, the 8th, we'll let Mr. Magazine kind of come back and we'll catch up on things. And on the 15th, we're going to have Popeyes Postcards. So mark your calendar, 7:30 p.m. I'm sure he'll be talking about whatnot. I don't know if you saw or not. He's now got a premium, membership over at YouTube. And he's putting up exclusive content over there as well. Good guy. Talked to him for about 15 minutes. So he'll be appearing on the show. Should be a lot of fun. I'm sure Dawn will be heckling him like she's Don Rickles, like she was last week, calling him a hockey puck and everything. But hey, whatever. It's all in good fun. And Dawn did reach out to me, and we were talking about a couple of different things. And because of her, I'm sure you'll be happy, I put the Rochester Book Show on my calendar. So it'll be yet another show we get to attend together in sunny Rochester.
Okay.
Oh, you seem excited about that.
Yeah.
You got to click on. You just click on it. Yep. Oh, hello, Jessa. Welcome in. Good to have you aboard. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And a few other things there. I don't know if you saw this or not, but we talked a few weeks ago. I know, Don. Just busting your chops. I looked it up. It's my fault. Per Collect, which is spelled CLLCT, which is the Darnerville site. Rochester, a guy was busted by customs trying to bring stuff into Rochester. Fake Victor Webanamu, and I know I screwed his name up, cards. So there are fake sports cards out there, and they're coming through Rochester. Just to let you know, I'm going to definitely have to let Mr. Magazine know that. So if somebody comes into his store trying to sell a bunch of cards, probably stay away from them because the fakes have hit Rochester and apparently coming in through Canada. There you go, Don. We know what Don's doing in her spare time up there. Kidding. You're familiar with the Titanic?
Yeah.
You saw the movie?
Yeah.
Nice. John Jacob Astor IV was on the ship, richest man on the ship. The gold watch that he was wearing on the ship is sold for $1.485 million. Nice little watch there. I wish I were wearing that around with me. Let's see what else is going on here. Blame Carl. He's stirring the pot, huh? Stop on by 3 p.m. on May 4th. May the 4th be with you for Loser Fest. I mean, the Star Wars Fest over at Whatnot. Mr. Magazine gave me 50 some items to be auctioning off, so we'll be auctioning them off on May 4th. So stop on by. I don't know the first thing about them, so just laugh at me mispronouncing all the Star Wars characters because I never saw the movies other than the first couple. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too. Gonna be a quick show today because we don't have Mr. Magazine here with us. We're gonna head on into today's main subject, which is asking you, what are your daily reselling goals? A lot of people, as I mentioned, they have annual goals. They have a 5-year plan, a 7-year plan. They even just, have a quarterly plan, but you have to have a goal every day. And I think I found that out after I hit retirement, because I actually have the time to meet goals. I'd had the goal prior, $1.4 for your personal wristwatch. Whoa. Oh, let me, yes, sold. But you have to set up goals every day. Back when I was working the day job, they were very, very modest goals. I would try to list 2 items on Etsy, 1 item on million.dollar.peddlers over on eBay, and 1 item on Viz-Views over there. And then minimally list 2 items on eBay for Papergoy. And, obviously the regular maintenance that you need to do, send offers out, pack things out, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you've noticed it or not, probably not, because these piles don't seem to be getting any smaller, but I've actually been listing a fair amount ever since I've been retired. I've upped my goal at this point to do 22 items a day on Papergoy eBay. I get up and I list an item for today, and then I use the scheduler and I list out. And once I've done the listing that I need to do, then the rest of the day is mine, whether I want to go sourcing, whether something else has come up. The other day I had to mow the lawn. You got to do that kind of stuff, whether it's that, whether it's this stuff on Amazon, whether it's set up a whatnot auction, whatever it happens to be. But my first goal, once I do all the maintenance work, is to get 22 items listed on eBay each and every day, again, using the scheduler. And I find that I'm able to get that done. Some days I list easier things than others, just depending upon what's going on in the day. For example, if I know there's a really good estate sale that I want to hit and it starts fairly early, I'll list fast listing things on eBay. If it's a day I got to mow the lawn and I got this and I got that, I'll list fast listing things. Save up the more difficult listing things afterwards. Yeah, he just had a family thing going on. His son is getting an award at school. I guess I can say that. If not, you didn't hear that. So no, everything's fine. Do my smuggling across the border at Ogdensburg. Best place to do it. Get out of bed. Well, at our age, Jeff, that is a noble goal, and luckily thus far I've been able to do that. But yes, I would agree with that as well. But again, I list the 22 items, and then after that, it's, do I want to go on Amazon? Do I want to list up on Whatnot? Do I want to revise listings over on eBay? Well, I don't really have to do that anymore now that I'm on top of the, the item specifics. I'm on top of those, so I don't really have to do that anymore. But I think it's important that you do have a goal each and every day, whatever it is. Now, you're not always going to make it. Obviously, when I was in Allentown, I wasn't listing anything. Times like that, maybe you list a few extra things a couple of days before, just knowing that you're not going to. And the day I got back, I knew I'd have to find a bunch of stuff. So we ended up working on that as well. Anique says that. Is that Anique? Yeah. Nope. There you go. Yeah. So hopefully that helps you a little bit there, as far as always making sure that you do have goals, because you do need them. And especially if you're retired, it's really easy to get caught up in, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and not really ever do anything. And the days just kind of waste away because you don't have anything you're required to do. I found that when I did have the day job, it was the long weekends that threw me off, because by day 3, the long weekend, no big deal. Or you just got lazy on Saturday saying, I do have a long weekend. So this actually forces me to at least accomplish something each and every day that I'm home. And then after that, then I can goof off if I decide to goof off. If I want to go buy stuff, I can go buy stuff, whatever the case happens to be. So do make sure that you set yourself up some goals. And I know Mr. Magazine has quotas for his people as far as listing, and he checks on them just to make sure they're listing enough stuff to make it worthwhile for him to pay him as well. Because obviously, if he's paying them and they're listing 2 items an hour, that's just not worth it to him. First thing I added when I retired in December was add a daily nap. I've taken a few of those naps, and they definitely do. They do help out. They really, really do. And America, for some reason, does not do those. Have the rambling story of the week. No, I do, but she will chime in, I'm sure. I'm sure. She doesn't ramble too much. I guess it's time for that. The rambling story of the week. So we had a wonderful weekend, Mrs. Papergoy, did we not?
Yes, we did.
And so we got up there Friday. We drove down, and we don't have them around us, but there's Friendlies, which I believe, if I could give away the little bit of secret, you used to work at.
Yes.
So you have a soft spot in your heart for Friendlies. So we stopped there on the way down, Cortland, if I recall correctly. So we stopped in Cortland, got gas, and ate at Friendlies, and headed on down. Got down to the hotel, checked in, no problems whatsoever, and everything was great. Saturday, got up, went to eat breakfast. We ate breakfast over at the Amish restaurant. Went to the show, got all of the various things. Got back home, shot a haul video, everything we needed to do. And we wanted to go out to eat.
Yeah.
And there's a really nice steakhouse. I'll give them a shout out in where did we? Lake Harmony, Pennsylvania, in the Poconos, called Louie's Prime Rib. And it is actually a really, really good restaurant. And I'm going to say the food was.
Yeah, Jeff.
I would say that the food was terrific.
Or honey barbecue melt.
Fish and a jig. There you go. The food was terrific. Might be. Yep. They're not up here in Rochester either.
No.
The food was great. Now we always walk in a little after 4, and they always have to ask if we have reservations, and we don't because they open at 4. So we just walk over, and no problem. They can always seat us.
And then you said we will eat fast.
I did say, they're like, do you have any reservations? I said, no, but we'll eat fast. And they laughed and they said, no need. But they sat us over by the bar, which when you sit over by the bar, you don't get a tablecloth. When you sit in the main area, it's tablecloth. It's all shishi. Well, we were over by the bar.
Yeah.
Probably a good thing that they did that because, we got our food. It was really good. And I ordered a Guinness. And it was good. It was, they poured it right and everything. Ordered a Guinness.
Yeah.
And I'm moving stuff around the table. And don't you know, I spilled the Guinness all over the place. Just all over the table, all over the floor, all over. I think you got a little bit on you.
Yeah, all over my pants.
All over you, and so on. And the waitress comes right over and I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She goes, it's no problem. She goes, the bartender heard it. He's got another drink he's pouring right now for you. Would you like to move tables? I'm like, okay. She goes, just change tables. I'll move everything over for you. Moved us over another table. And of course you were. I
wasn't happy.
You were not happy, but you were also scared the entire time that I was going to knock over another drink. So you're watching me like a hawk to make sure I don't knock anything over. And then the waitress, God bless her, came over and said, do you need anything else? Maybe a sippy cup or a straw? Yes.
That was a classic one.
Yes. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Or a bib.
Or a bib. Yes. Thank you. So it made her weekend that I got heckled by the waitress over there, but I took it all in fine spirits. Allentown and didn't order Yinglings or even some. I've had Yingling before.
Oh yeah.
I've had Yingling. I didn't know those were theirs.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Now next time I shall. So, but do check out Louie's up in the Poconos. Good people. And I told Mrs. Papergoy, yeah, they charged me for 1 beer and I got 1 1/3 beer. That's using the old noggin.
A bottle.
Baby bottle. You guys are mean. You guys are worse than that waitress. I'll tell you right now.
That was funny.
Well, you weren't laughing after I spilled it.
No, I wasn't.
All right, everybody. It was a short show today, but I do want to thank you all for coming on out. Mr. Magazine will be back next week. May 15th, Popeyes will be on the show as well. If you don't know Popeyes, do check out his channel as well. I don't know, heckling, she should watch the show more. That's true. That is true. If you can all hit the like button, definitely appreciate it. And do stop by Whatnot, 4 p.m. tomorrow. We've got a great book auction. 3 p.m. on May 4th, Loser Fest. So come on by if you like Star Wars. And the usual shows next week as well. I'm sure I'll be buying stuff. I got the haul videos Random Neighborhood Kid will be putting up. A lot of fun. Thank you, everybody, for coming on out. You did a wonderful job, as always. You guys did a great job in the chat being nice to her. Some reason I'm the one that gets heckled. I don't understand this. Kind of crazy.
Thank you.
Kind of crazy how that
Drew some cabinet cards from your mouth. You might get a few. There you true. You never know. It's worth a try, or a third of one extra. All righty, everybody.
Okay,
thank you much,
Thank
and
you,
we will
guys.
see you. We will see you next week. Sorry for the short show, but not a lot was going on, and I'll let you know whether they removed those negatives or not. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you next show.
Thank you.